Hey guys, it's AR7 here. After the good reception we've had from the last podcast about all the analysis that we've made, um, I just wanted to create a few videos, analytical videos from things that I just take from the community and some ideas that you may have about videos that we can make, just to make everything more informative, more analysis. Um, I guess I'm gonna start with block asset, and sometime in the future, I guess we'll go beyond the block at some point. Discuss just BTC, just Sol, and just other projects that I think are good, like in social tokens, like metaverse gaming and some others. But in the near future, I will mainly be doing block asset videos because I feel like there's a lot of content we can definitely make. So it's gonna be the first one. So the first video that I'm gonna make is actually thanks to Pengok's idea, and Bob the Wizard also liked the idea, just to make yield farming related videos, okay, about farming block with USDC. So I've prepared here a little bit, a few tabs for this video. So let's dive in. Now, currently we can see that the price of block is at 13 cents, which is pretty kind of great for the video because I want to make an easy video with good round number. So 13 cents is going to be our price and our number for today. And basically, we're going to discuss here what is really better. Is it staking or is it yield farming? And if each one of them is better, for which reasons would it be better? Now, as with almost anything in the world, the answer is just depends, right? So it just depends on your strategy, depends on your goals. But basically, I would say that the longer term of a view you have, I think at this point in time today, I think yield farming could be better, could be a better option than staking, for a number of reasons. But let's dive in the video and we'll see it step by step. So first of all, we'll just start with just no index staking gives you right now 30%, right? And I believe, if I remember correctly, I think it should remain like that until the end of the year and possibly beyond 2022. But I'm just assuming this APR will remain 30%. But even if it won't be 30% next year, I guess it will still be 20 something percent. So 30% will be a good indicator. Now, for yield farming, if you yield farm block with USDC pair, you will get 161% APR. That's currently a bit more than 5 times higher than the staking APR. And actually, the video I'm gonna be making it a little bit more conservative, of 120%. I'll explain why later. But overall, you can understand that just if you do yield farming, you're basically getting much more APR than staking. And I mean, that's something that happens in most projects. In many projects, you're receiving a three-digit APY, and with staking, you normally also receive like 10, 15, 20% for other projects as well. Where you can see the overall liquidity for blocks. So this is the pool on Raydium here. And as you can see, like normally, the largest liquidity is for Sol USDC. Because, obviously that's on Solana blockchain and it's paired with a stable coin. So that's going to be the largest pool here. Then Sol and Raydium also have $23 million worth of pool. Also because, like this is Raydium exchange. So obviously they're going to have a high liquidity here. But anyway, we're interested in block here. This one, not this one, the first one. And here we have almost $1 million worth of pool here. So it means we basically, let's round it up for $1 million just to make things a little bit easier. It means that basically we have here $500,000 worth of block in this pool with $500,000 of USDC. Now let's get to the juicy part. So as we said, this is the farm. And over here, we can just search for block. And just briefly, you can see here that here it's 500,000. So just to my understanding, what it likely means is that just only 500,000 only half of the overall pool that we've had for block is being farmed. Okay, so the other $500,000 is just not deposited to this farm, and hence it doesn't receive the block rewards. So yeah. Okay, guys, now let's dive deep into the juicy part of the video, into the most complicated stuff. So I'll try to really do it the best I can. But in case you'll have any trouble, any problems, and any things that you don't understand, please just leave a comment. Just let me know, and I'll do my best to answer the best I can. And I'll also leave a few links to make everything easier. So this is going to be my main Google sheet here to present you kind of the difference between staking and yield farming block. Okay. Um, so first, let's just go over, let's do an overview of what's really going on here. So this is just the dollars that you invested, okay? So I'm just taking here like a sample of $1,000. Let's say you invest $1,000 right now at the block, which is priced at 13 cents, okay? This is the amount that you're gonna get if you invest $1,000 of block and $1,000 in block, okay? And this is the amount you're gonna get if you invest 500. And like for yield farming purposes, because you're gonna need to provide liquidity between $500 worth of block with $500 worth of USDC, you're gonna have 500 extra USDC because you're gonna buy half of the amount of block that you would have otherwise did with staking. So as we said, staking is gonna be 30% here. Okay, we're gonna leave it like that because I don't want to overcomplicate it. And yield farm, so as you guys saw, the yield farm that we can see here, it's 161%. But just from my experience, 120% would be a little bit more conservative, because normally yield farming is getting more diluted than the staking. So 120% is kind of a bit more, let's say, a little bit more conservative, okay? Because over time, I think it will be a bit closer to 100%, 120%. So but let's say you do the yield farming now when it's still 160%, and let's say, you know, after a while it's 90%. So let's just say 120% was your over average, okay? And now let's have a look on over here. So on this column, you're gonna see what would have happened if you staked or yield farmed for half a year. And over here, what would have happened, how many dollars basically you'll have, dollar worth of value, if you would have staked or yield farmed for 1 year. And that's kind of relatively less important, but just if you want to like have a clear, complete math, this is just the amount of block tokens you should have once you bought the block tokens and then you staked for 1 year. So this is the amount you should have. Or with yield farming, if you buy this amount of block with $500 USDC, and after 1 full year, you're gonna have this amount of block, 13,000, and 500 plus 500 USDC in the case of yield farming. Okay, so staking, yield farming. Okay, so now this first case that we just showed you here, the scenario that we have here is just that, let's say block stays the exact same price, okay, for a year. And let's say in May 2023, it's just exactly the same price as it is right now. So you're gonna be better off farming, right? So if you farm after half a year, you're gonna have $1,600 worth of block plus USDC, and with staking you're gonna have this amount. But if you invest 1,000, if you stake for 1 full year at 30%, you're gonna have $1,300, $300 extra from the staking. But in the yield farms case, because it's 120%, you're gonna have 2,200. So basically, you're gonna see here that in most of these scenarios, you will see that yield farming is better, but you're still gonna see in which particular cases staking will still be better. So as we said, it just depends on your strategy and what is the best for your particular situation. So let's just go over the next scenario. So this is the bearish scenario. Okay, let's say this is like a really severe bear market, and after 1 year, the value of block is going to be half of what it is now, so 6.5 cents. Now, not financial advice. I don't really think this is what's going to happen, but I just want to have all scenarios over here. So same thing, right? You're going to invest $1,000 every time, and 500 in the yield farming. Every scenario is going to be the same in that regard. So now what happened, here's going to be the relatively more complicated part. So again, please, if you have any questions, just leave the comment and I'll answer any questions that you have. But what happens in the yield farming case of the bearish scenario is if the block's price is going down and you pair it in a liquidity with USDC, so look what happens here. You've had 500 worth of USDC, and like with a 50% down in valuation, you're supposed to have 250, right? But if you pair it in liquidity, what happens is you have the algorithm in the DEX works by kind of providing the liquidity always at the same price. And basically what happens is if the price goes down, or the price of block, I should say, goes down, it means you're going to have more block tokens and less USDC, okay? But like you're not having 250. That's the complicated part, but you have to bear with me here. You're going to have $353 if block's price is 50% down and you're having a yield farming here. And you're going to have more block tokens than what you've had here, right? Because as we said, the price went down, so you have more block. But in the opposite scenario, if the price goes up, in order to balance, you're going to have less block tokens, but more USDC, okay? Now that is called impermanent loss. If you'd like, I can do a more specific video about that, or I can just send you good links. There are really good videos about impermanent loss on YouTube, so you can use that. But basically, that's kind of the general understanding of that. Now, so let's put it like this. So this part is without the rewards. Now, even though, so in this scenario, when we go up, when a block's price is going up, because you're yield farming so much, and especially if you're doing it for a long time, like a year or half a year, you're still going to be better off yield farming than staking. But once you're going to the 5x or the 10x scenario, but again, it then depends on the time. Here, you're going to be better off after, so in the half year scenario, right, if you're staking for a half year, you're going to be having more dollars value than in yield farming, you know. And same here with the 10x. If block's price is 10x, and if you staked it for half a year, you're going to have more dollars than in yield farming's case. Why is that? Is because, as we said, you're going to have less block token, right? So that was your, if you yield farmed and the price was 13 cents, this is the amount of block you've had. In the 3x, if block goes to 39 cents, this is how much you're going to have. If it goes to 65 cents, 5x, you're going to have even less than here. If it's a 10x, even less, right? So here comes the part, just for how long did you yield farm? Okay, this amount that you see here, 9,230, this is if you have yield farmed for a full year, okay? And that's why you see, like, in 1 year, if you yield farm this whole amount, you're still gonna have actually a bit more dollars than staking. And also here, over here, like for half a year, you're gonna have less than the staking. But if you yield farm for 1 full year, your rewards are still gonna basically overcome the loss, the block amounts that you've lost in your liquidity. Okay, because also you can think about it like this, because if you're farming for a 120% APY, so it means basically after 1 year you're gonna have your full amount that you could have bought here, right? 7,600 plus another 20%, which is 9,230. So basically it just means you're yield farming so much that even though you're losing here more and more in your liquidity, because you yield farmed so much, you're still going to have more block tokens than had you just staked. Because had you just staked, you'll have 10,000. But if it's 9,000 plus 1,200, it's like a little bit more than 10,000. It's like 10,500. I think, yeah, we have it here. Sorry, my face is here. You can see it here. There you go. So basically, guys, I don't want to overcomplicate it. I know it's slightly complicated thing, but my overall my overall conclusion here for you guys, if you want to yield farm or stake block, is just if you're focused on long term, yield farming likely is going to be better for you, especially if it's 1 year. Like you see, even after a 10x, you're still slightly better. Okay, but if you're kind of sure that you're gonna hold block only for half a year or less, then likely you're gonna be better off staking. But that also, we should say that if you expect a price appreciation, all of that is in the case of price appreciation. Now, lastly, if you expect the price to remain static, okay, to remain exactly the same or to go down, in these two particular cases, the yield farming is not only better, it's actually much better, you see, because it's like almost 2 times than what you would have lost here. And over here, if the price remains the same, you're still approximately 40% up than if you would have staked. That's for half a year, and for a year it's even better, right? So the same here. But like in the price appreciation story, you're kind of, so you see, like if you're staking in yield farming, the yield farming doesn't really overcome staking so tremendously, but it still overcomes, you know, like think about it, if you're compounding it for another, like if it's 2 years, then the difference becomes greater. So hopefully that makes sense, guys. Okay, guys, that was a pleasure doing the first ever video for you guys about Blockasset, about one of my favorite, even I would say even the most favorite project I currently have in crypto. That's why I'm so active on the Discord server. So yeah, I know it was a little bit complicated, so I'm gonna say it again. Don't be shy, please. If you have any comments to say, if you have any questions, just let me know in the YouTube comment section. I will answer everybody. Yeah, guys, so thanks again for being here. I love the community. I really enjoy talking to all of you guys. And yeah, I'm hoping making many more videos, many really informative videos that are gonna help you all succeed as much as possible. Still remember, it's not financial advice as always. It's my financial opinion, just my experience that I want to share with you guys for you guys to become even better and better and succeed in a huge way. So I was AR7. All the best for you guys, and thanks again. Cheers.